No, you recorded.
Hi, everyone. David Pierce, Realtor, Associate Broker, the Home Team AZ at My Home Group Real Estate, here with Sean Garvey of Dwell Inspect Arizona to talk today with you, the consumers, about really what's going on in the home inspection process, when you're going, and what you should identify and be aware of when really getting that home inspection and buying a house.
Yeah.
So you're really comfortable with your purchase and know what's going on. And it's all part of that, having that team where you've got that lender working with you, you've got your realtor working with you, you've got your home inspector working with you, so you're confident in your decision making when it comes to buying a home. And I can't stress that enough. Thank you, Sean. Thank you for your time this wonderful afternoon and being here and taking time away from your family. And I know it's been busy, a lot of houses out there to inspect.
Absolutely. The market's been really good. Thank you, David. I really appreciate the opportunity and appreciate you guys watching us out here. He's absolutely right. The home inspection is possibly one of the most important processes, aside from buying the house of your dreams, of course, which he can help you with. And then really having a practical understanding and education is what we strive to do. Mostly of your mechanical, meaning roof, structure, get in the attic, crawl space if you have one. Take a deep look at the electrical and the plumbing systems. So you really understand what you're buying so that you're not buying the quote-unquote lemon.
Absolutely. And it's good to have that home inspection really as a record of condition at the time of the purchase. So you can use that with a home warranty company to show them that the mechanical was in working condition when you purchased the home, so it was not a lack of maintenance issue, or it wasn't something that you did or did not do.
Right.
That record is there. It's also the honey-do list to say, hey, these are the known items we've got to work on when we've got the house.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's definitely an important part of it. And then it's also peace of mind. I really feel when you get a home inspection, it brings peace of mind to you, so you're confident that you're not getting a lemon that's going to fall apart and have a roof that caves in and all this horrible stuff. So I can't stress enough, got to have your team in place. Got to know your lender, got to know your title, got to know your realtor, and you have to be comfortable with your home inspector, because it's a critical part of the process, and it a lot of times can be a deal breaker, especially if you find a major issue. So Sean, let's get into a little bit more about actually your background, where you're from, what you've done, and how you've become such an expert in your field to really give this educated opinion on the condition of the purchase of the asset.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. So I really got started in the home inspection industry back in Hawaii in 2013. Founded a company out there, and then built it up. I'm originally from Phoenix, and so I moved out there after college, after going to ASU, and then started Diamond Head Home Inspections out in Hawaii, which they're doing great out there now. And then moved back just before the birth of our second child, first daughter. And
so
started,
family.
So yeah, wanted to be closer to family. Started Dwell Inspect Arizona. We're about through the first year of existence in Arizona. We're really excited to be out here. Grown really quickly. We've just added some members to the team.
Good.
So that we can service all the demands. And then to piggyback off what David said, you really want, truthfully, you want a detailed inspection. And not, it's in most cases the second look that you've had at the home.
Mm-hmm.
First time is 15 minutes when you walk through and you said, I got a beautiful kitchen, I love the sink, love the paint, I'm going to put the TV there and the couch there.
Yep.
What you're not looking at is maybe some of the conditions. And I've seen it a lot of times around the valley is people come in and are enamored by some of the beautiful things, and then we have to have a little bit more of a realistic conversation. One of the things that we always say at every inspection is, everything can be fixed. So it's just an opportunity to really understand what you have.
Yeah, and people have to understand there is no such thing as a perfect home. Doesn't exist, doesn't happen.
Not even brand new ones.
Not even brand new ones. Too many moving parts, too many things put together, too many, it's just, in humans.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, the handyman homeowner is what keeps me employed.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, how'd they do that? Why'd they do that? You know,
Yeah.
you see a lot of those things. So I really think it's important that you get that comprehensive report, that you are able to go through that report and be comfortable with the condition of the home, so you're happy and you're going to be comfortable living in that home long term.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you're going to be there hopefully 7-10 years, maybe 3 to 5. Hopefully you'll call me every time you're thinking of that move. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it is really important to do those things. I also always stress mechanicals. I mean, HVAC. It's not necessarily the age of the units, the condition, because a lot of times the compressor could be brand new in there, the box could be aged.
Yeah.
So it's really important to look at that and to understand your split. Now, what's the best split for air conditioning again that you are looking for?
Good question. So a split is warm air coming in versus cold air coming out of all the ducts. What's considered an efficient operation is somewhere in the range of 18 to 22 degrees. That's changing a little bit as HVAC systems advance and variable speed motors are coming into it, but the traditional system is somewhere in that range.
Okay. You know, and so everything's going to be a bit case by case, but remember, you want that big temperature split of 18 to 22 degrees from the air being pulled into the system from what's being spit out. And if it's not, then it's not working up to snuff.
Right.
And then you're going to want to bring in that secondary contractor, the HVAC contractor, to diagnose and figure out what's going on. So that's what he's here for. He's here to go through and identify those potential problems, like roofing issues always are big worries to me because it doesn't rain that much here. Back in Illinois, where I grew up, rained all the time. You would know if you had a roof problem really quick. Now here, doesn't rain that often, and then when it does, we get quite a bit of volume quickly. So it can really be problematic if you have some roof flashing that may not be in the right condition. And to identify those problems before, I think that really would give me some peace of mind.
Sure, absolutely.
And typically, home inspections, they aren't overly expensive. It's good to get the termite report and have all that done. Do you bundle that? Is that something that your company offers together?
We actually we bring in termite experts as well. Another pest control company. The advantage to that is our pest control company, if they don't find termites, they can offer a 6-month warranty on the property. If they do find termites, they can create a proposal immediately, and that proposal helps you guys in the negotiation determine who's going to remediate any of the termites that exist. You also brought up a good point about some of the conditions of it. Home inspectors haven't figured out how to tell the future yet. Also can't see through walls. No, sir.
No, you don't have X-ray vision either?
And we can't also always figure out what's going on, but we can determine what problems may or may not exist, and then refer out to other sources. So we can figure out if the HVAC system's not working correctly, maybe not understand exactly why.
Yep.
So we're like your general doctor, and then we refer out to your specialist, your brain surgeon, heart surgeon, what have you.
Exactly. I think that's a good way to bring it together there, because it's true. He's there to go through and look at the general overall condition of the property, identify any areas in which potentially there are problems, and identify whether or not an additional expert should be brought in for those problems that he finds. And that's why your realtor, who they're good, as soon as that contract's accepted, one of the next things they're doing is scheduling the home inspection. And Dwell Inspect's actually got a pretty cool thing because it's all done, online.
Sure.
He's digital as it gets, folks. He's got everything from the whole reports all set up in the digital system to the scheduling to I believe a video as well.
Yep. We offer a video or follow-up video of the property. Most likely after the inspection, if you choose to move forward, which we all hope you found the home of your dreams and buy it.
Through me, of course.
After you won't see that house again for about 30 days. So we like to send a little video. It's not going to win an Oscar, but it'll take you around the house so you can send it to your friends and family back in Illinois or what have you, and get a sense of where you're going to live.
And he's got a really good point. Usually you'll come in, you'll see the home. I love this home, I want it. The next time you see it, it's not usually until you come back to do the inspection or to do the walkthrough with the inspector at the end of the inspection, and go over things. And it gives you a more detailed look at really at everything that's going on in the property, and it gives you another moment to really walk through it.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't. A lot of times they're kind of just looking at that curb appeal and the walk-in and how it feels to them, and they're not really looking at those details like the flashing, or
Sure.
Is there dry rot, or how's this sliding door work?
Right. Absolutely.
All of those things. But I mean, when they go through a home inspection, he even checks every outlet to see if it's wired properly. I mean, these people really do go through and do all the details. He's going to check every burner on the stove. He's going to make sure the microwave actually heats up like it's supposed to. All of these things that you and I would not do, honestly. As homeowners, no, we're going to find out when the outlet doesn't work when we go to plug in the vacuum cleaner and find out it won't turn on. And then you're going to go and try to figure out what's going on with the breaker box and hopefully not electrocute yourself. They're going to look at it and say, hey, guess what? Everything's fine. Or, hey, you know what? You've got a breaker here that's not so good. It might need to be replaced. Or this outlet, it's not working properly or wired properly. It needs to be rewired. These are all kind of important things to know when going through and trying to figure out whether or not you want to even move forward with the purchase of this house. And also to know the condition of the house in which you're purchasing, so that you're comfortable when you move in. You don't want to move in and go, wow, really, I don't really kind of know what's going on with it. But, we're just going to kind of play it out and figure it out as we go along.
That'd be the worst thing you could do. And it's also brings up another great point, which is why we encourage the buyer to come to the inspection.
Mm-hmm.
You don't necessarily need to be there the whole time. A typical inspection for us takes somewhere in the range of 2.5 to 3.5, 4 hours plus. And if they're out, if an inspector's out in 60 minutes or 90 minutes, you need a new inspector. Of course, depends on the size of the property. But for the last hour, if you meet us there, and that's one thing we offer to our clients or your clients, is a 1-hour client consultation. We'll take out the report, we'll review the entire report with the client. That way, all questions are answered. We'll also show you how to turn off the electricity, show you where to turn the water off, show you how to reset the GFCI outlets. GFCI outlets are the little test and reset ones. That brings up a point where if you plug in your what'd you say, vacuum,
yep,
and it's not working, maybe you need to reset the GFCI or reset the breaker, something to that extent.
And a lot of times it's something that simple, and if you don't know, you don't know. And it's good to get that guy that's an expert in looking over the systems of a house or a residence or commercial building even,
sure,
and being able to identify all of those pieces to you, show you where those parts are, show you what's working and not working. I mean, let's get into plumbing.
Sure.
Water shutoff valves. Did you know we have hard water in Arizona? Did you know that? Did you know what it does to shutoff valves over the years? Did you know those ball valves freeze?
Yeah.
And then potentially when you have a water leak in the house and you have to go to shut off the water, you can't.
Yeah.
And that's an issue. So when they come in and do the home inspection, he's going to check those valves, tell you whether or not those are something of a concern,
sure,
to, not even an expensive fix at all. It's actually a pretty simple fix. But identify that, because it's probably good to know if you get a leak somewhere else in the house, you can shut off the water so you're not flooding the whole house.
Yeah. You need to know where the water
kind of important.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and then to know where the water shutoff valve is at the street, and the water shutoff valve coming into the house, and making sure those are all operational and good. Those are good things to know.
How to shut off the water heater and fix your valves underneath the sink.
Yep. Yeah, all very important things indeed. Through your years, what are some of the funny things that you've seen that you wouldn't mind sharing with us? I mean, I think everybody always likes to hear that. I mean, could you imagine? I mean, you've probably walked into a few things.
Sure. There's always your head scratcher and what's going on. Try and figure out what's going on. Recently, kind of the largest head scratchers are going to be plumbing. related, and I've posted some of them on Instagram recently. But one time recently I drained the sink, and then I walked back and the wall was leaking itself. It appeared that the plumber forgot to make the connection.
Oh, just
10 feet behind me, there was a leak at the wall and then draining into the garage. So actually not really that funny, a little bit on the sad side, but you definitely want to see the professionals doing the professional work and finishing their work appropriately.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you've seen connections, I'm sure, in attics that are inadequate, junction boxes. That's always something common.
Standard. Relatively easy and inexpensive to fix too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is, and it's things like that you've seen where the homeowner has done something in the past. That was a handyman job, or
knocked out a wall without support, or
yes, lots of things like that happen that could potentially be very costly down the line, especially if it's structural. I cannot stress that enough. You go into attics where you see trusses have been cut and replaced because of termite damage that weren't properly done. Or you see that they expanded the doorway to put in those double French doors and they didn't reinforce the sill over the top. And now it's caused a roof issue because everything is sagging. Oh my goodness, that's a costly fix. These are things that you need to be aware of, and that's why you should hire a professional home inspector when going through the home purchase process. Can't stress it enough. I can repeat it all day long. I would bring this guy on to explain to you how and why it's important. It really is. And I think it's money well spent. Is what it really comes down to. Sean also does commercial inspections. He's available for that as well, which is a wonderful thing for you small business owners to know. Because if you are getting into a long-term lease or you are buying that commercial property, guess what? You can get an inspection too. And he's going to come out and do all those same things that he does for a residence to your business. He's going to tell you the condition of the mechanicals. He's going to look over the plumbing and electrical. You're going to get that peace of mind on the condition of your purchase. Some things are worth paying for, like a good realtor, like a good home inspector, and really getting that peace of mind. I think it is worth it. And I still got to get a good insurance person on here. Know anybody else out there that would like to be on? Always can look me up and let me know. I'd like to thank Nathan, Michael, Zach, another Michael, Stephen, Keith, for all coming in and watching us. Hi, Erica. Glad to see you all. I really appreciate your time coming on and going over these things. Any other points that you think we might want to highlight for people today when it comes to the importance of getting a home inspection when buying a property? Is it important to maybe know the condition when selling the property?
Yeah, in some markets, not specifically this one currently,
it's a little hot.
But as it changes or the market changes, I think it's a great idea to have a pre-listing inspection. That way you don't get hit with any bombs. You may not have been on your roof in 10, 15, 20 years. I
personally think it's really important as an investor, if you've held a property for a long period of time and you haven't per se been there, or you've been having a property management company take care of it and they haven't been really giving you a real detailed record of the condition of the property, it might be worth it to spend the money, find out really what's going on with that property, find out if there's any pitfalls that you might be unaware of that are going to come up in the negotiations and the sale of that property, so it's done and you know what's going to be going on.
I'd even recommend to flippers too. If you're not going out there and checking your work, send us out there. We can give you a punch list for your team to go back and repair. That way you're not losing money bringing them back out, or they're not wasting time bringing them back out, or you're not the deals aren't falling apart because the tradesmen that you've hired aren't doing their job.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I wanted to now shift gears and talk about new construction, because obviously that's still a very active role in the real estate market, especially here in Maricopa County. But also, I wanted to talk about getting a home inspector during a new home purchase. I think it's an extremely important thing to do. I think you should always double check the work of the home builder.
Sure.
Even though I think some of the home builders, maybe even watching right now, may not like me saying that. I'm sorry, and I know I have friends that are project managers for home builders. I'm sorry, you can't catch everything. You can't catch everything. I want a second pair of professionally paid eyes to come through and check that property after the slab's poured, after it's framed out and the plumbing is in before the drywall goes up, and then finally at the end to give you that final punch list to present to the home builder for them to come through and give you that product that you've paid a lot of money for. I mean, you really do. You pay a premium for a brand new home designed to your specifications. Shouldn't you be as well ensure that it's done and built right to those specifications?
Well, yeah, absolutely. And then in some markets or with some companies, project managers aren't allowed in the attics or on the roofs. So the roofer comes down and says,
I didn't know that.
"What a great job I just did."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that at all. So I learned something new today.
Sure.
I absolutely did. So I do. I think it's really important to consult and know all of these things and talk to an expert when you come in and get that important second opinion. You know, so we know what's going on. You want to say hi to everybody? Ah. Yeah.
You see?
You see you? Say, oh my goodness. Yeah, you're live.
First time.
Uh-huh. Good fun. Well, anyway, thank you. I wanted to thank everybody for their time today. I wanted to thank Sean for taking some time out from his day, from his family. I know he came from a long day of home inspections, came right over to do this with me today because we feel this is important.
It is.
It's important for you to understand what we actually do and why it's important for you in the process because it's value added really for your peace of mind in most likely the largest purchase of your life.
Yeah,
Each
absolutely.
time. Yeah. And so any more questions, if you want to get a hold of Sean, he is tagged here. You can also find at Dwell Inspect Arizona on Instagram and Facebook. You can always text us to TEAM, T-E-A-M, to 33655, and we can get in touch with you. And we can always and are happy to sit there. No obligation. We'll go over all your real estate plans and goals and really want you to be comfortable and educated so you're confident in your decision because it's your money. So again, Sean Garvey, Dwell Inspect Arizona, thank him for his time today.
Thank you.
I want to thank all of you for watching. And David Pierce, Realtor, Associate Broker, the Home Team AZ at My Home Group Real Estate and MHG Commercial. Remember, be positive, be productive, and be proactive in everything that challenges you, and make it a great Memorial Day weekend.
Thank you.